What's up? Episode 51.
What's up, shitbags? Welcome back. 51, last guest episode of the year. And then you got to listen to Brennan and me, just ourselves recapping the year. You know, always the highlight video. You know, most views.
yeah.
Not really, but that's what it is. You know.
We'll get there.
No, I mean, it's been another crazy year. We just talked about. I mean, we'll give a huge shout out now. We know we always talk about our sponsors, but Fireman Kenny Show. We had the pleasure of going on there just a couple weeks ago. Go and check that out if you haven't. Fireman Kenny means you've been doing it for a long time. It was pretty awesome to be a part of, and definitely different. We got a little more. We're more PG on there, so
yeah. Yeah,
but,
script. I couldn't mess that up. So
yeah, well, you tried. You tried really hard to mess it.
Yeah, I did try really hard. But we got through it. So
yeah, so go check out Fireman Kenny. But it was great on it. You know, we talked about. We kind of realized we've been doing this for almost 4 years, so it's pretty cool. Wild ride, and now another year down. So it's been crazy, awesome. Thank you guys so much for listening, for watching. Huge thank you to all the sponsors. Jeremy Sanders was Crew First. Toxic Suppression, Jobtown Graphics, Taylor's Tins. I mean, we couldn't be doing it without any of these guys, and we couldn't be doing it without you guys tuning in. Would like you to send in more questions.
Yeah, questions. My brain hurts every time.
But thank you guys for at least tuning in and watching. We've been hearing great feedback, and yeah, enough blabbing from us. One more year down. Let's bring in the last guest episode of the year. Without further ado, let's get Tuna in here. Tuna, what's up?
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, friends?
Oh, nothing much. Another beautiful day. Why don't you go? We're in Wisconsin, so we're enjoying the last moments.
40-degree weather, 30 degrees. Maybe be snowing by the weekend.
Getting 80 goddamn 6 degrees down here in South Florida. Can't wait to get out of here. Is it hunting season yet?
It is. Yeah.
Yes.
Been trying to get out, but I'm trying.
Yep. Bow season, gun starts in 2 weeks.
Couple weeks, yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Pheasant hunting, duck hunting.
Always hunting season here. Well, Tuna, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself for the people that don't know you?
Well, my name's Nate Gardner. I am 51 years old, married. I got 2 savages, a daughter and a son. I am medically retired, captain from Palm Beach County Fire Rescue, and I am now working with a couple of my buddies, and we're doing tactical resiliency training, and we're doing some moral injury classes, and yeah, it's busy. That, and I'm a stay-at-home dad / house bitch, and that's what I do now. So I'm cool with that, though. So that's me in a nutshell.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. Like you talked about, we'll get into the TRT a little bit, where we did get to meet you guys. But we'll start with the questions that we got, which first one probably pressing everybody's mind. Where'd you get the name Tuna?
Yeah. So that's an oldie but a goodie. But so we'll go back quite a few years. I'm in fire school, and as if anybody knows me, it could be mistaken for arrogance or cockiness, just confidence, I guess you would call it. Yeah, so that was my first go around with understanding that grown men don't like confident young men. And so I was being confident on the fire ground, and the lead instructor, God, love that guy, Jeff Cooper. He says, hey, big boy, you that good? How about you take the 2.5 up and flow water off the Bangor? You guys know what the Bangor ladder is? The 50-footer?
Oh, big ass fucking ladder.
Yeah. So it's got these 2 freaking outriggers. We've got 2 fire, not instructors, 2 fire students. We're like, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks into class. They're holding the outriggers, and up my big ass goes. And I got like size 12.5, 13 boots. And I don't know if you know, on a Bangor, it starts to narrow down on the tip. So I get up there, and I was so damn excited I was able to carry the goddamn hose up there, let alone flow water. And I knew I probably wasn't going to be able to do it. But so I get to the top, I ladder lock in, I flow water, and I'm telling you, bro, it's on. I'm going to talk so much shit. And so Cooper's like, you can tell he's pissed. He didn't think I was going to do it. And he goes, get out. And that's when it all went tits up for me. I got to pull my freaking boot, and I'm like, oh, yeah, this isn't going to happen. My foot is wedged. So as the nozzle reaction started pushing me back, like my legs seated so tight into the ladder. So I'm in a weird position. There's no getting out. And I'm 50 feet in the air going, yep, this is, it was fun while it lasted, boys. And all of a sudden I hear from the ground something that would define my identity for the next 20 fucking 4 years was, God damn it, Gardner, you look like a tuna caught in the fucking net. Get out. And that was it, bro. Literally 24 years. My wife calls me fucking tuna. My kids. But, you know, in that career, I realized, man, I did okay. There's some nicknames in the fire service that I circumnavigated that I'm okay with. Tuna's going to be okay. I'm okay with that. Different iterations, big tuna, flounder, Nemo, you know, all through the years. So, and it also really coincides with the fact that I was a big time spear fisherman. So it all kind of went together. So
there you go. There you go.
Man.
There it is.
That's awesome. Every good firehouse nickname has a great story behind it. When someone is only referred to by that name, you know that there is a good story. I mean, that is
yeah, I've literally gotten awards and walked across the stage and they don't use my name. And like I would even tell them, hey, my goddamn dad's out there. Can we just for one time do some pride on the Gardner deal? So I get out there to the stage, Tuna Gardner. Like, you son of a bitch. Yeah, no, it's yep. Good deal.
Well, going from the name that defined you to something that you've definitely been extremely passionate in throughout this end part of your career, where did you get your passion for mental health and where did it come from?
Yeah. So I'll tell you, it's fire service is a tumultuous deal, right? You've got the ultimate highs and lows. You get to experience brotherhood and respect from men, which is what young men need. They need that affirmation. They don't need it in gifts or whatever. They need to earn that respect. It creates a hierarchy in that group that's so badly needed. You know, one of the big problems facing America today is the fact that, you know, I'm all about having, you know, my wife walks beside me, but make no doubt about it, when the shit hits the fan, there's one leader in this household. You know, we've had the conversation. Listen, man, we can trade spots. So we're just going to flip flop. So when that door rattles at night, I'm going to go run and hide in the tub. You grab the pistol and take care of fucking business. Okay. I'll call 911. Don't you worry about it. And then all of a sudden, man, now it's like, you're right. Without a hierarchy, everything falls apart. You look at wolf packs, everywhere you look, there has to be an alpha and there has to be subordinates. So with that thought process, when your leaders have no concept, and it's nothing against them, man, it's a defining moment for me was when I realized that you can only do what you can do with the knowledge you possess. That's it, right? You're going to react off of life experiences, what your amygdala and hippocampus have locked down and loaded for you based off of your survival instincts. That's going to be your reaction, right? So you can only do what you know. So when people that are not supposed to be where they're supposed to be, you know, become in leadership positions, it starts to really mess with guys' minds. And I had a banger of a career. I'm what you call a black cloud. Happy for it, for sure, because I trained my ass off and I felt comfortable. And that, you know, when you feel as though you're the best fireman paramedic that you could possibly be that day, it's a lot easier to process shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, nothing sucks worse than having any type of guilt or shame that if you had known more or done something more, it would affect their survivability. Yeah. That's moral injury, and that'll eat your soul. Like literally. Yeah. So for me, it was, you know, I think I had like 6 months on, I got this decapitated baby in a car wreck. And, you know, I'd never seen anything like that. And so we get back to the station and my chief pulls me outside. Never forget. And he goes, "Hey, Tuna, check this out, man. I was fucked up, right?" I go, yeah, chief. He goes, "Put that shit in a box, break the key off in that son of a bitch, and then chuck it out there in Lake Okeechobee, and we'll move on." Dude, I'm like 29 years old. I'm not the smartest dude on the planet, but even back then I thought, I'm not sure if that's the most appropriate manner in which to deal with this trauma that I just experienced. And at the time, I didn't know any better. I was the only one in the day room. One of the biggest stations in the fucking county. Not one guy. Why? Because they're all crying in their bunks, man. They don't want each other to see the weakness or the vulnerability. And so for me, it was just this realization that I wanted to be normalized, man. Like I wanted to know that the other guys felt the same way, that I wasn't some bitch that was like, because early on, like, it'll define you. You make a decision. When you see something that violates everything that your brain can process, you make a conscious decision right then and there if you're going to continue down this road or not. And that's your first. I think everybody's born with a certain sense of innocence. Fire service can strip that from you real quick, like real quick. And it's what you do in that defining moment right there, where you literally, your life, your happiness hangs in the balance in that one moment. How do I react to this? Is this a threat or a challenge?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a challenge, man. It's something right now you can't process. But guess what? Our body and brains are crazy, dude. It's the reason why you can't get diagnosed with PTSD inside of 31 days. There is a very natural compensatory process that our brain goes through. How many times have you had a call where you're like, what the fuck? 2 shifts later, somebody's like, "You remember that call?" And you're like, "Nah." Because your brain was looking for distraction. The next 5 or 6 calls you poured your heart into, because your brain is so goddamn intelligent, it realizes that it needs to chop up that memory and put it away because it's going to hurt you. That's your compensatory mechanism working in like all its glory. So when I started realizing that stuff, and I'm not going to give you a number, but I'm over 20 brothers that have committed suicide. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm talking good guys, warriors, fucking studs. And you get invited to dance recitals and stuff afterwards. Boys, it'll hurt you in places that you never thought you had. So it took me doing 40 days at the Center of Excellence to unfuck myself. And it was there that my eyes were open to what we experience, how to process it. And the fact that if we don't get in doing the shit you guys are talking about right fucking now, listen, I'm not saying everybody with 15, 20 years on is a lost cause, because they're not. Mm-hmm. It's a lot more work to do. But I'll give you an analogy, man. Teaching the Recruit Academy, all of the guys coming out of the academy knew the second you left a structure fire, you were going one fucking place. You're going to the green cone. You're going to go get decon. Okay? So here we are. Half my crew are kids that I taught in recruit class, and the others are guys that I literally look up to as like fire gods. My driver, my jump seat are studs, like studs. So I can tell you the difference between having something brought up in your brain and as part of your everyday routine versus something that was imposed on you somewhere along your career. Mm-hmm. Dude, young guys, right to the cone. Dude, my senior 2 assholes, those fuckers walked 6 goddamn yards around to make the corner so they didn't have to go to decon. And I'm like, there's your difference. That's the quintessential difference. And they were senior enough for me to not even say a goddamn thing. Just come around the corner and I just sprayed them with the hose a little bit with the garden hose. I'm like, "Chief, we're good, man. They got wet. We're out of here." I'm not fucking with those 2 guys. Those are the 2 guys that make my life as a captain the best. Guys on the rescue. But it's just that if we start talking about mental health and in the appropriate way, okay, because when it's delivered the wrong way to new guys, I don't have any problem with this new generation. I'm kind of enamored with this new generation simply because, can you fathom being born and from the second that you're able to talk and comprehend shit, you have this little magical box in your hand gives you the answers to every goddamn thing in life. Like, there's nothing. It's all right here. Dude, I had to fucking beg my dad, drive me to the freaking library, fuck around with that Dewey Decimal System for an hour, get all brain fucked, and then try to find wherever the fuck I was going, reading the little numbers. And then the weirdest thing, boys, you had to go up there and you had to check that son of a bitch out. Accountability, right? And dude, listen, man, my accountability sucked back then. I probably still have delinquent shit from 40 years ago.
That was going to be my question. How many books do you still have?
100%. Without a doubt, I'll stand in my truth. I have no problems. But to think about, like, so literally my Amazon here, which I'm a little bit of a tinfoil hat guy sometimes because, they're always fucking listening. But you know what? If it wants to listen to me and my wife bitch at each other, go ahead. They're not going to get anything off of us. But that son of a bitch gets wore out. This is what my Amazon gets all day. Amazon, how long can a camel spider hold its breath? Amazon, can a blue whale kill a tiger? Amazon, dude, there's literally nothing that if you have curiosity, it's out there. So the reality is that I like this generation, but in doing so, it's desensitized them. Like you can get on Facebook, like the fucking fact that Charlie Kirk's assassination was shown on Facebook is the litmus test of where we are as a society. I won't get into that, but that's moral injury as well, man. I've never been more affected by someone else dying that I didn't know in my life than when he got shot. Yeah. But so the point is,
like I mean, like the generation now, I can't imagine, because even my generation growing up, like smartphones, iPhones, that was like at middle school age. And I mean, fucking beginning of that shit, we were still watching people die. Like I would say in high school, 100%. It was just Instagram. Like you just scrolling through Instagram and all of a sudden it was like a cartel member beheads like dude. And you're like, oh, that's fucked up. Holy shit. Like,
dude, whoa, man, those were rough. I partook in a couple of those, man. Yeah. And the next dude over watching the other guy get chainsawed, he's like, no way. And you're like, I can't believe I'm fucking watching this. Like, what is wrong with me mentally that I would choose to watch this? So regardless of that fact, but there's this whole generation of young guys that because of the fact that they're desensitized to shit online, they feel as though it won't bother them in real life. And then life snatches their soul right out of their chest. Just like, I tell guys all the time, listen, man, I could cry at the firehouse, no problem, man. I would do it as a martyr to just try to initiate some of these guys to fucking purge some of this shit. We had some calls where there's 14 of us that were highly affected, right? And I would tell guys, listen, I fought MMA. I went to Thailand, fought for 6 months, did jujitsu. I love that shit. And I would tell them, like, listen, call me a pussy for crying. I'll meet you out in the parking lot tomorrow, 7:31. I'll beat your ass up and down the parking lot. And I'm going to cry the whole time just to make it weird as fuck for everybody. And everybody other than the dude that's getting the lecture loves that lecture. But my point is that you can say shit online, but I tell guys, I promise you wouldn't say that to me in the Walmart parking lot.
Yeah.
I'll bet you $1 million fucking you won't. When I grew up, man, if you want to be an asshole, you had to be tough as shit, or you weren't an asshole, because there were immediate consequences, right? So you have this whole generation of kids. And, listen, you want to talk about mental health, let's talk about it real. Let's not go in and have a clinical psychologist talk to a bunch of recruits that, like we just established, are desensitized or think they are. And then tell them that, if you're feeling extreme stress and this, that, and the other thing, you can reach out to one of the instructors. Bro, I'm getting calls in recruit class. Captain Gardner, they said that, if we had PTSD to call you. And I'm like, did you run over a kid? What were you in a shooting? What happened? Are you okay? No, I'm fine. Okay. And how do you have PTSD? Oh, I failed my last test, and then this next one coming up, and I go, bro, you misunderstood what we were talking about. That's why I didn't want a psychologist to come in and talk to you guys, because they have no fucking idea what I'm talking about. And it was in that moment you just realize that a lot of this is how you sell it too, right? We get back from a call, and the way that our system was is that you had, you wrote it up. And in Florida, PTSD bill literally dictates there has to be an event, right? So for me, I was just proactive with it. I would just go in there and I would write the shit up for the guys. I mean, and it has to be, which is really funny that the state tells you what calls can fuck you up or not.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right. So it didn't fall in between there. They've got an umbrella now, but the point is that these guys would come in and go, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm writing it up. They're like, no, bullshit. I don't want anybody to think I'm fucked up from this. And I go, jackass, I don't know if pickleball is a big thing with you guys. I don't know what the fuck, how the fuck pickleball took over. But it was the best thing ever for a floating captain, because these old guys are blowing out hips and knees playing full combat pickleball. I got some of the best assignments because these old guys are out there just eating shit. I'm like, you guys know you're not getting paid, right? Like this isn't a championship. I mean, they're diving in the bay. Like, what are you guys doing? Pickleball, dude, they painted all their goddamn bays. They literally painted the stripes on it. I'm like, whoever this pickleball guy is, that dude's a billionaire now. Like, what the fuck, man? But if you were out there playing combat pickleball and you rolled your ankle, I bet you $1 million fucking you'd been here asking me to write this up. Is the brain a muscle? Yeah, it is. We just bruised it up pretty goddamn good, man. 6 kids, 2 of them drowned in front of us. What are you thinking, boys? I know why you're not acting like it's fucking you up, which is ridiculous, because I'm right there with you. I'm not okay with this. And if you're okay with it, bro, you need to go get freaking taken out in the woods and shot, because you're a sociopath. If that shit does not bother you, at least enough to look at your brother and go, hey, man, you okay?
Yeah.
I don't know. So in a classic tuna tale is what the guys call it, or getting tuned at the station where they get hung up. Like they're coming off shift and they stay till like 11. Like, God damn it, I got tuned again. But in a long tuna freaking roundabout way, that's why I'm into mental health. You lose a couple of your boys to it. Yeah. And being retired, so, something that I can do and help and stay relevant. And I think everybody says this, or anybody that got ate up by the job like I did, one of their lasting things I always talk about is leaving it better than they found it. Man, good luck. The fire service I joined 20 years ago would beat the fucking wheels off the fire service today. Just the brotherhood, the camaraderie, the true camaraderie. I feel for you guys, and I definitely feel for some of my young guys that have to do 35 fucking years, 8-year drop. I mean, dude, this job will eat your soul, man. And if, when you start hanging hundreds of thousands of dollars in front of them to do the drop, we're going to start losing so many more guys. So at the end of the day, if I can help in any capacity whatsoever, whether it's TRT or whatever, that's the only way I can leave it better than I found it. And I won't leave the fire service. I'll leave the guys that chose to interact with me in a better place. But other than that, it's going to take a massive movement to get guys to change some of this toxic stuff in the firehouse. And it's going to be an uphill battle. You got to do what you guys are doing. You find your, you find your cliques and your groups, and you just boost each other up and keep boosting each other up. And then that's how you do it. I mean, I had a chief tell me one day right before I got promoted, he's like, Tuna, you're going to be a great captain, but I need you to follow or heed my words. He goes, up here, this is the top 10%. Shut your fucking mouth, listen and learn from these guys. Down here's the middle 80. And down here's the bottom 10. These are the fucking knuckle draggers. These are the mouth breathers. Don't waste a second of time. You will get hung up with the way that you are wanting to make guys better. There are people that are here for pussy and a paycheck. They're here to show that badge to girls at the bar. You want to live right here in this middle 80. These guys they're good guys. They just haven't been led by the right man or woman. Let me make sure, and woman. But this is where you affect change. This is where you impart that wisdom. These guys you just have to lead them. Man, the guy that said that to me was probably one of the best leaders that I have ever been exposed to. And hearing that from him just made me realize you can only affect what's in your sandbox. And the guys that are willing to take it. Dude, I have fucking dragged dudes to the water. I have waterboarded the fuck out of them. They won't drink, man. And it's like, after you tie your wagon to a couple of those guys, you just realize, listen, at some point, I'm going to have to set some boundaries for myself.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to do the work, then I'm not going to work with you. Because there's like 3 battles in life, right? And there's 3 that you just can't win. God, Mother Nature, and somebody else's battle. The only battle you can win is yours, man. Truly. And at the end of the day, you can help other guys along their journey and through their war, but you're not going to win the battle for them. It's just not going to happen. They have to decide to want it. And that's one of the biggest things about writing this book and creating these 4 and 8 hour classes is just to try to create enough awareness. Because here's the other thing, guys, how much fucking awareness can we have, right? At some point, solutions have to be offered.
Right.
Because you can be aware of every goddamn thing, but if I don't give you the ability to start working on it, what's the point? Now I'm hyper aware of something that creates even more depression and anxiety because I can't fucking fix it. I don't know how. And in those moments, you're probably less likely to reach out because you feel even more stupid. You don't even know what's happening to you. And if you're not married and you haven't set your spouse up with the tools she needs to go, hey, warning bells are going off, my friend. I'm telling you right now, something's different. You're experiencing something different. My wife's so good. She knows by the inflection of my voice, the tone of my voice, what my shift was like. And if she knew, it was a good morning peck on the cheek and she just walked away. I'd either go smash the heavy bag, go mow the grass, whatever. And when I was ready to come and start fucking my day with her, I come over, give her a big kiss and just go, hey, we're ready to roll. That doesn't take place anymore once I had kids. Because you got to man up, man. I don't give a shit how many run you after midnight. Your wife's been in the goddamn trenches all night long, baby, puking and shitting all over the place. I would come home thinking, I can't wait to hit that 7 after midnight. And then, take him. I can't handle the son of a bitch. And you're like,
damn it.
Okay, babe. All right. I got it. But, there's a great saying that I fuck up all the time. But for your family to have peace, you have to give up yours. And if that resonates with you, which it should, if you're a fucking male that has testosterone, that is a fireman, if that doesn't resonate with you, it hits me to my core. That's what my life is now. I give up my peace so that my family can live in peace.
Yeah.
You're constantly at war, right? You have people that you are here to protect and defend. If you're not in that mind state at all times, you're being complacent and something else can happen, right? So how can I be at peace? Because I'm always at war. I'm at war with everybody that looks at my family, every fucking thing that comes my way. It's my job to make sure those 2 little fuckers make it to wherever they're going to go. And that's how I was as a captain. That's what almost took me out, is that ferocity of trying to defend my guys to the point where it was like, all right, I can't defend jerking off in the day room. That's, I have gone out there for you guys, like real far, shopping in boxers. All right. Okay. Maybe it was hot. I don't know. But this shit, no, this is where I draw. This is my boundary, boys.
There is a line.
Literally, that was my morning. That was the end of every morning meeting. You can ask the guys. I would give him my whole spiel, be like, listen, I own you guys from 8 to lunch, right? One of my favorite sayings in the world is you have one mission in life, and that's to be better today than you were yesterday and better tomorrow than you were today, right? And if you think about that for a second, it's just this constant evolution of who you are. And so, you know, I would say we're going to earn our nap, guys. From 8 to 12, you're mine. We're going to go out. We're going to learn something. I don't care what it is. I don't give a fuck if we just do a rival course today, whatever. But we're going to learn something. We're going to be a higher version of ourselves today than we were yesterday. After that, as long as the station's clean, I don't give a shit what you do other than jerking off in the day room. That was, I'd have to tone that down for the females. I'd be like, for you guys, no finger blasting in the day room. But at the end of the day, man, yeah. We've got a lot of work to do to try to change the trajectory we're on. And this is the kind of stuff that's going to do it, man. You got to start a revolution.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that transitions perfectly into the next step that you were talking about before and where we met you. How did you get started with TRT? And kind of, we've had Jeremy, we've had Dave, you know, we've had lots of people come on, especially after that class, but where do you get that passion from? What do you hope to impose on people that take that course?
Yeah, this is it's good, right? So you guys got to meet Rick. Like he is, yeah. So Rick's one of the reasons why I'm alive today. What, you know, I ended up getting hurt on a call, and I ended up getting 7 spinal fusions. And throughout those 7 spinal fusions, yeah, you can imagine the opiates, the depression. I had, ultimately, at the end of the day, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. But I could not process not bombing down the road again to another fire. To think about not being, and the backstory to that is that, you know, when you get promoted, it's terrifying. If you give a shit about your guys, for a while, it's kind of scary. And then finally, I just got to that point where my guys were so fucking good that I didn't give a shit. No apprehension. Tones go off. I didn't give a shit. We're going to crush anything that comes our way. And then it's over. And that loss of purpose, and later on, after the Center of Excellence, understanding that going from having 20 to 30 guys hang off every word in life or death situations to being able to get an 8 and a 6-year-old to listen to a fucking word coming out of your mouth. There was this just deafening loss of respect that I didn't realize that I needed. And I was also not in a position. I have just as much fun delivering that respect to somebody who I love as well, that is a mentor to me. It's just a really important thing for guys in the fire service to do to each other, because the more that you do that, the more willing they are to give advice to you, and you stay more relevant in their lives, and you're just going to soak up through osmosis more information from them. Rick has always been like, man. So Rick would be the guy. I would be typing a report like my, I don't know, 7th after midnight. Rick would be coming on shift, and I'd feel a tap on my shoulder, and I'd look back. And then the next thing I know is me peeling my head off the keyboard because he had just rear naked choked me unconscious and just lightly laid my head on the keyboard that he had just choked me out. So Rick and I had been really close for a while, but it wasn't until he showed up in the hospital one day, and I was probably at my lowest. I mean, I have guys that literally would show up, and I had ripped all my IVs out. I've got a zipper from just below my spine all the way to about an inch from my asshole. And these guys would literally pick me up. I'm covered in freaking diarrhea and shit from all the meds, wash me, put me back in bed. Those are relationships that you don't get very often. Mm-hmm. And Rick was one of those guys for me, and always has been. So when he stood in front of me, Rick's really good at judging what you're going through. And he just said, you can't kill yourself, and you can't fucking, you got to be able to get up and walk, Nate, because you got to be able to come and teach for me. So whether I got this position by the fact that he didn't want me to do something bad to myself, or he thought I was truly worthy of it, that was that was the first step, right? And then there's 2 years of just crazy madness to get back to a position where I could walk and do the things I needed to do again, to go and actually facilitate teaching. And that's when it really fucking happened. I show up to MAPC and I meet Mark Mikowski, and it's instant. I don't know how to describe it. It'll sound gay as shit, but like, you just know somebody that just immediately, you know that this is just a tribe member of yours, you know? And that was really the first time I had ever really heard the term tribe. Man, there is no better way to describe the fucking knuckleheads that are the TRT cadre. Like, there's literally no other way. They're my fucking tribe. On so many levels too. So going from, you know, being in the shit all the time to going to having nothing, to being back in that shit talking brotherhood environment again, was like my first class, man. I cried so goddamn hard when it was over. Like, I cried the first time I touched fire hose again. I just forgot how much. Like, I used to hate hooking up to the hydrant because it meant I wasn't fucking inside. But dude, Rick comes over and he goes, how many times you gonna hook up to the hydrant? I go, I don't know, until it fucking feels good. And he goes, it looked good the first 10 times. And I go, yeah, but this is so fucking awesome. He goes, there's other fire shit you can go touch some other fire shit. But it was like being a kid again. Like, yeah. I had this opportunity to teach again. And it's just, yeah. You know, when you guys saw it, Bad Day, Good Day is something that I look forward to every class. It's probably one of the cooler defining moments that I'm a part of. So I'm gonna reverse the roles. What was your thought process when you watched us? Did you have any idea we were going to ask you to share?
No. That was I mean, I know we've talked about it with other people, and they're like, oh, you know, how was the training? You know, should we do it? We're like, yeah. And like, what would you do? And it's like, it's fucking hard to explain. But basically, the first hour entailed of us sharing our greatest and worst possible days in our lives with complete strangers. And I was like, and it wasn't no fucking filler shit. Like, no, so the instructors kicked it off, and you knew right away that you weren't going to say, well, it was the day that I just ran out of gas.
Stepped in dog shit. And
yeah. I was like, you were going to dig deep, and it's that day that you go back to. Like, it's not something small.
Yeah.
So if that, go ahead. Sorry.
That set the whole class up. So we still talk to people that we went to that class with, and I think that just got a deeper meaning of the class, just sharing all that.
I mean, it's my pull it up. It's my cover photo on Facebook. Like, is that group picture of all of us afterwards? Like those.
Oh yeah, that was good. That was my first one, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
It was a great course. I mean, there's been a couple people that have really asked like if they should, and we tell them like when it comes nearby or you go to it, like take it, and it's so hard to explain other than to just be like, you've got to take the course. Like,
there's every class there'll be 3 or 4 guys, sometimes maybe a couple, and obviously I can't use names, but this last firemanship in Chicago, we had like the craziest facility ever, dude. Sick. And stereotypically for us that week coming in is, holy shit, dude, it sucks because we have to do so much build out. So this one, the structure just lent itself, and Chief Russo and I had come up with some kind of new strategies as far as like how scenarios are going to be running everything a little more detailed to try to ramp up the frustration quicker. And dude, it never ceases to amaze me, like we talked about earlier before we started recording, was this idea that the second that you start to feel like you have your shit dialed in, you're an idiot. It's always just the beginning. So having put like 99% of the stuff together and some of the, all the other stuff, you know, Rick's obviously done, but the new stuff, me and Jimmy created all this new whole framework and everything. So there's a shit ton of pressure on us too, because we were leading it, and it was going to be, we kind of knew it was going to be the last class before Rick stepped down. So there was a lot of pressure on us. And then there's this defining moment, man, where it's like 2:30 in the morning, and I've had guys go at each other before, but not like this. And we always have to remember, like, I have to remember, I'm 51 with about 20 something surgeries, 7 back surgeries. I'm going to start to fail at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning as well, even though I'm not doing all the running and everything else. You know, we're in a hotel for 6 nights before. I don't sleep for shit anyways, let alone in a hotel. So it's a rough time. So when this all popped off, I just reverted back to old Tuna. I'm like, whoa! And I'm like, no, bro, you're the stress mitigation guy. No, handle it. And I had like this just massive internal dialogue going, calm down, get pissed, calm down, get pissed. And I'm like, what the hell's happening? And like a little bitch, because I just knew that I was compromised. Like it had been a real long day. So I went to my savior, Rick, and I was like, I can't handle this, bro. I'm going to lose my shit. So every time you think you're at the pinnacle, right? I watch Rick walk over, and I'm still pissed. Like, I'm pissed because the one guy stepped to me, and I'm like, motherfucker. He's like, come here, come here. And they just disappear in the building. I don't know, 10 minutes, goddamn goes by. Out comes Rick and these 3 fucking guys, these 2 guys all hugging each other, singing Kumbaya. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, what you guys doing there? We talked and then we prayed. I'm like, you got those 2 guys to pray together? Like, are you serious right now? When you watch him go, Rick can do this impromptu stuff that's just,
yeah,
I'll never be there. But you have to have such a command of the information to be able to freewheel the way that he does, and use it in the, like, he can just pick and, you know, all the different things he's learned, he just seamlessly puts them together. And like in a moment's notice too. Like, I'm like, how do you recall all this stuff? But so this class was absolutely fantastic. But those moments, and someday I actually read one of the guy's letters to the Chiefs yesterday, just to prove a point of the efficacy of this class. And I can't tell you the emails and the text messages I get. And I'll get, you know, the next day and the following day are just hell, like, at least for us. And, you know, I get through is starting to see these stories and text messages come through. And what's even cooler is that a lot of times that maybe it's not me, Rick, Mark, or Jeremy, maybe it's Army or somebody else. They get these things because it was them specifically that had that moment with him. And it's just such a cool thing to be able to. We had 2 guys get through. They were absolutely claustrophobic as shit. Like, you get a little joy out of it when you see them heading towards the tunnel. You're like, oh shit, this is gonna go down. This, hey, come with me, get ready. This is a big dude. This is gonna go sideways. To get in there with him and talk him through that, and have him come out the other side and read his body language now, bro. And he gets up and he's like, yeah. And I'm like, good boy. And off we go. He doesn't realize, like you guys now know, those courses are never meant to be finished. They're never ending. I'm going to beat you to death. Yep. That's the point. Yep. So when he hits it the second time, bro, he hits it and he goes, fuck that shit. Boom, down to the end, down, back out. He comes out and he goes, fuck yeah, twice. And off he went. And I was like, as you can tell, that's what feeds my soul. Like, that's my energy. That's the force that I'm trying to take in. Those moments are, brothers, like, there's nothing like it, man. I try to explain to people my favorite moment in the fire service. I got to experience over and over again. Search and rescue is my deal. Near the end of my time as an instructor. It was one of my favorite things to teach. And so it's our last PO, performance objective. Once you're done with that, other than jerking off in the day room or driving freaking down 95 the wrong way, you're going to become a Palm Beach County fireman. You got about a week left of just clerical shit, and then you're off to shift. Our final POs are nasty. Like, they're tough. And so when I get to be on a knee, when that guy hits that final door and I pull him out and I get to peel his mask off and I'm nose to nose with him and I go, hey, congratulations. And I get right up in his ear and I go, welcome to the Brotherhood. And that grown men just bawl and cry because for 12 weeks, I mean, we have guys get divorced and shit in our recruit academy. Like, it's no fucking joke. And to be able to share that moment with them and be the one to tell them that, it's just such a, I don't know how you put a price tag on that, but that got me through a lot of dark times, just those moments. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Ooh.
TRT gives me the opportunity to have those sensations again.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
So,
well, Tuna, like we talked about before we started, we love these rabbits. So what we're going to do now is, because we're coming up towards the end, we're going to fast forward through our questions and hit our last two parts of it. So
do it.
Every episode that we do, we have a little bit of pass it on. So last one we kind of had was that Fireman Kenny show we went on, but every guest that we have, we assign them to come up with a question to ask our next guest. So we got the question from Kenny that we have for you. And then it will be on to you to come up with the question for our next guest, which will be starting off the new year. So Brendan and I have one episode where we do our breakdown of the year. And then after that, it'll be firefighter Noel. He's down from Texas. We met him just down at Wichita Hot, literally, whatever it was, 3 weeks. 3 weeks ago, a month ago. We were just sitting at the beer garden by the hotel. And also we just see a guy come over and sit down over across the way. And you're like, yeah, it's a fireman. And we fucking call out to him and mention him over. And that was how it started. Dude's coming to my wedding now. He's coming. We're going to Cancun. He just texted me. He said I booked the flights. So fucking great guy. He's very involved in the training. But so he'll be kicking it off. So you can mull on that a little bit while you answer the question that we got for you. So
let's do it. I've invited guys that I've played Call of Duty with for 10 years to my wedding.
Yeah,
never met these dudes in my life, but I know they're good dudes. Soulful Chaos. Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead.
So the question from Kenny is, how do you promote your message to your intended audience above all the other noise that is in the world?
So it's kind of like a multifaceted question, I guess. And not having him to question him further on what his intent was. So I think that I'll give you an example. Every class that we teach, I ask guys now, if they've ever heard of moral injury. And there won't be one guy in the class, like not one. So that to me is highly troubling because I'm in the process right now of trying to research some of the metrics for how often, and because moral injury doesn't have a DSM diagnosis yet, it's a co-current with PTSD. They don't have the ability to just diagnose moral injury. But what's crazy is that moral injury has different treatment modalities than PTSD. So a way for me to try and rise above the noise is to do something a lot of guys aren't. And that's go deeper than everybody else. So the idea is that for me to create a differential diagnosis for clinicians, peer support guys, and everybody else to use to understand really quickly if this guy's dealing with moral injury or PTSD or both. I think facts, truth, and passion are going to be the things that you have to rise above the rest of the noise. Here's the deal, man. Every fucking goddamn time I go to a conference, just read the course descriptions. Just read them. It fucking reads like a Hollywood goddamn like movie script. And I'm like, you're teaching VES. That's it. It's not high angle roof mitigation cut. It's like, bro, listen, there's only so many ways to cut a roof. That's the one thing in the fire service where until technology, and unfortunately for us, technology is going to go the other way. It's just going to remove us. So until technology creates something that we can use differently, the same techniques exist. Mm-hmm. Are there ways to tweak your style? Yeah, but there are tried and true, proven ways of doing this. Instead of wasting your time, which is, here's my issue. Guys, this is the fucking truth. I get 2 shits. This book that I'm gonna put out, I don't care. I'll put a surname on it. Is that what it is? A surname? Yeah, right? I'm not stupid. A fake name? Whatever. I don't give 2 shits. Alias. Yeah, maybe alias. But they still know it's me though. Dude, I think it's a surname. Whatever. The point is that I get 2 shits if I get recognized for any of this, because I'm doing every bit of this shit for free. So to me, it's just as long as this knowledge is out there. Mm-hmm. The problem that I have is that everybody, this branding bullshit, everybody wants their name out there. And I get it, man. I get it. Whether that's a drive of yours, but if the message is just to get out the same shit that everybody else is doing, but you're rewording in it and making it a little flashier, I don't know. Seems kind of empty to me. But if you're trying to come up with something new, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with these classes. They're great. If you want to go take a VES class, take a VES class. Mm-hmm. They're great. All of them are good. Some of them are a little better than others, but the reality is that we're doing crazy shit to stand out. I don't want to stand out, man. I want my information to stand out. I get 2 shits. I'm on disability. I can't make money anyways. So for me, it's not even about that. What it's about is, listen, there's a bunch of podcasts that I used to love. And then all of a sudden now there's banners and shit all over it. And it's just fucking this sponsor and this sponsor. And every 5 fucking minutes, they're doing another ad. Mm-hmm. I get it, man. You got to get paid. You got to somehow fund whatever it is you're doing. But at the end of the day, I think we've got a real problem with people trying to make it about them. And for me to stand out, I don't care if I stand out. I don't care where I am in the realm of things. All I care about is when I get letters like that. Mm-hmm. Transformative. I held my child at night and cried harder than I've ever cried in my life. Mm. For the first time in my life, I felt like I wasn't alone. Give me a break, man. Like if that doesn't supersede every fucking thing else, where my name is or what I'm doing, I understand the necessary evil of promoting yourself so that your message gets out there. Your message was a lot easier to stand on its own 15, 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. Not anymore, because like you said, it's actually a great question because there's so much goddamn noise. Mm-hmm. Everywhere you look, there's somebody trying to sell you something or whatever. So, I guess that would be, I guess, is that my answer? Final answer.
Final answer.
Final answer.
I like it.
Yeah, that's great. That was exactly what he was going for too. So we were able to chat with him, and that's where he came out of it. And yeah, there's definitely a lot of noise, especially in that mental health atmosphere, and I love circling back to what you had talked about earlier with the awareness. Like there's so much awareness. I mean, right now we're wearing our Movember shirts at the department for, the awareness of all the men's health stuff. Oh, Jesus, dogs. But it's like, you got to have some solutions at the end of the day. Can't just be all awareness.
Well, I mean, here's the other thing too, is it depends on how that awareness hits you too, right? I mean, guys get triggered by this shit and then you just leave. And it's like, you just ripped off this Band-Aid and you made them aware. Now this guy who has blissfully been ignoring what's going on to him, now he's hyper aware of it. And you're like, all right, well, I'll talk to you guys later. And you're like, but how do I fix? No? Oh, no. All right. I'll give it a go. Like, we do that to everybody, man. Like, it's insane. The guys that go to get sent away to sleepaway camp, right? I've had so many calls where like guys are like, if you don't get me out of here, I'm gonna burn this motherfucker down. And I'm like, what's the problem, man? He's like, I'm sitting next to 2 goddamn meth heads. I'm not a goddamn alcoholic. And the reality is that he's not. He might be chemically addicted to it right now, but he drinks because he's fucked up. He's not fucked up because he drinks. That's his numbing agent. And at the end of the day, man, if we don't start freaking handling our business, so and in those treatment centers, they're like, hey, have you ever heard about mental health? Oh yeah, let's talk about it. Oh, you were touched as a child? Oh man, that must have been horrible. All right, looks like your time's up. They're not meant to do that type of psychological work. So the reality is, man, is these guys they're not getting the help that they need. So it's going to be part of my question for the next guy.
Awesome. Well, let's hear it.
So I would ask him, you said he's part of the training division?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So they're the biggest fucktards out there. Bro, listen, that's the hardest group of guys that I've ever tried to talk to mental health about. And I was one of them for a long goddamn time. It was always comical because when I would go to deliver any mental health stuff, I would make sure that the training guys weren't there so that they couldn't heckle me in the fucking background. Bunch of pussies. And it's like, man, just trying to help these kids, man. Yeah, what they do, they're going to be pussies. It's like, all right, listen, guys, we're going to do this in a safe space. Yeah, of course you need a safe space. It's like, God, dude, there's no way to do this. So I would love to find out how someone can break that nut, right? I have found that the guys in the training division, let's put it this way. You have to be in the shit for the most part, right? You have to give a real big shit about this job for you to feel moral injury, right? The shitbirds probably not going to experience a lot of moral injury because they don't care. They're not here for the same reasons we are, right? This right here tells me that you two guys are primed for fucking moral injury because you guys obviously have a moral compass. And that compass, until you fortify it, is extremely fucking fragile, man. And when something shatters your entire foundational ideas of what's right and wrong, that's not the same thing as a little cognitive behavioral therapy. That shit doesn't work for that. You have to do moral restoration, man. You have to go back and find out who the fuck you were before this happened. Do you want to be that person again? So you want to, it's pure rebuilding. So I would love for him, if he has some time, if you give him this up, ahead of time, have him look into moral injury.
Okay. And
ask him if he can ask any of his guys, dude, your boy, my boy, the guy I just went to the Bahamas with, Jeremy, that's moral injury on the highest level you can experience it. We won't talk about his fucking story, but you know his story intimately, correct?
Yes.
That is the truest definition in the fire service of moral injury. And it doesn't stop. He lives it every fucking day. It's real, guys. Like, it's really real, and it can affect you in ways that PTSD can't. So I would love to hear how he's going to figure out how to explain some of this stuff to his guys. Because, dude, if you don't know about this and you don't want to know about it, it's kind of silly, because this is something that affects everybody. And you don't have to be a fireman.
Right.
It doesn't matter who you are. You're a nurse that knows that this fucking patient needs D50 or whatever. I don't want to go back to my paramedicine shit, but whatever they need. And the doctor says no. And that patient goes. It's moral injury, man. I always do the Office Space, when, what's his name? Did you get the TPS cover sheet? Yeah, did you get the TPS cover sheet? That guy, after he writes the great report, and the only thing that guy cares about is the cover sheet, right? Being beat down day in and day out. Moral injury exists in a lot of places. The problem is trying to understand where it's really affecting you and where that victim card lies, because you can turn it into whatever you want to. Yeah. But I would love for him to try to figure out how he would get a gauge on his guys and where they are mentally. What does he do? Because every morning I went around, shook hands with every single person, looked them in the eye. I knew if the new guys had been out of the strip club till 5 and just literally brushed their teeth and had come in, or if the old salty dog had a couple beers on the way into work. I'm able to know, I'm able to see and shake their hands. Find out how he, or if his department or himself personally, is taking an active role in the soul and the welfare of his guys outside of fucking fires and hoses.
Awesome.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, that's real man shit.
Yeah.
Being able to sit in your truth with another guy, and you don't have to say anything, right? That's the difference with moral injury too. They're not looking to be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
They just want. I'll leave you with this, right? I know we're over the hour, but deal with it because Jeremy had to deal with 3 hours. So I had a guy call me up at like 2 a.m, and my wife's just gotten very accustomed to this. She hears the phone ring and she thinks that's either one of your guys stuck in the mud and needs to get pulled out. One of your guys is fucked up. But if that's a goddamn deer picture from your feeder in Kentucky, you're dead. Because I had to sell it just all night. I'm like, oh, that's the big buck. She's like, it's 2 a.m. It's 2 a.m. I'm like, I don't think you understand how big he is. He's typical. He's wide. My wife wants to kill me. But I knew, instant. I started talking to him that something was up. And I was like, what's going on, man? He goes, can I come by your house? And I go, yeah, you know where I live. So he shows up. He's like, I got a 6-pack of beer. What do you want to do? So we threw it in the side-by-side. I drove him out to the Corbett area. We just sat there. Put the tailgate down. Guys, there wasn't a word spoken in probably 2.5 hours. He looks at me and goes, hey, we're out of beer. And I was like, all right, cool. I have to go teach in about 30 minutes anyway. So we go to get back in the side-by-side. He looks at me and he goes, hey, Tuna, I don't know how I'll ever be able to thank you for this. I never said a word.
Mm-hmm.
It was being willing to sit in that uncomfortableness with somebody that I loved.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be, he didn't need words. He needed to know that somebody gave a fuck about him. Guys, that to me, that's hero shit, man. No, I'm not saying that I was heroic that night. I'm just saying, like, when you can be there for your brother in those times. Because listen, I don't know if you guys have dealt with any guys who had some real problems. It ain't pretty. It's as real fucking gets, man. When you roll up and there's wedding albums in the fire and there's guys smashing their faces off the swing set. Mental health's not pretty, man. But I'll tell you, if you want to move forward and you want to create relationships that last and you want to be a true leader, we need to start treating our leaders just like we do everybody else. They have to have some emotional intelligence. I'm not saying they have to be therapists, but they have to be able to at least be able to be there for their guys. And if he can't be there, then somebody else at the station, the senior Jake, somebody, you got to have a spiritual leader at the fucking firehouse, something that pulls you guys together. And listen, man, the world's just going to get crazier. And we're going to deal with more and more shit coming down the road. It's not like it's going to get any easier for you guys.
Yeah.
You young bucks are going to be dealing with crazy shit down the pipe. So the sooner you guys get on board with the fact that you can harden yourself mentally, not to the point where you suppress emotions, but to the point where you understand and you draw a line in the sand and you go, sometimes life's unfair. Sometimes it's hard. It is what it is, man. I won't let that affect me today because I know that those emotions are wasted. I'm not, it doesn't help me to be sad. What does help me is for somebody to hear my goddamn story. I don't think you guys understand what you're doing for people. Giving somebody a platform, because your story means shit, dude, in your basement. It doesn't mean anything there. But I think, you know what you guys should do, because when I start my podcast, I'm going to start doing a post interview. And how'd it feel? Because I can tell you every time I do one of these, man, and I get to spew my venom out onto the fucking airwaves and know that maybe one dude, one guy, that was the joke with Jeremy. When I did my first podcast, we're like, well, hopefully I get one person that liked it. And I guess within a day, somebody back, he goes, yes, we got one. And I was like, mission success, mission success. So at the end of the day, man, if I have to act like a fool and fucking bare my heart and soul out on the internet to get one guy, to hopefully this resonates with him, man, you guys are doing God's work here, boys. The more people that you bring on here that are willing to share their story, not only you helping your viewers, but you're helping your guests too, man. No shit. Like, I thoroughly enjoy this stuff. I think this is the truest form of communication right now. You can cherry pick it. You can move back and forth. What was the part that I liked? I can go back and watch that again. And man, it's different. So congrats on whatever success you guys have right now. And I'm sure it's going to get bigger. As this grows and people start becoming more aware of this stuff, these are the shows that's going to feed their soul. So keep it up, boys. It's good. I had a good time today.
Yeah,
appreciate
so
it.
do we. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on and share your message. It's been awesome. Like I said, it's a great way to wrap up the year. I mean, just plucking away 1 year at a time. It's pretty cool, the stuff we get to do.
What is that? What is that, Bryce?
What do you mean?
1 year at a time. What is that?
Oh,
segmenting.
Yeah,
I did it.
Yeah.
Well, see, obviously we're not hard enough on you guys, because I was hoping that was going to be like the whistle from my training chief, where like I hear that shit, I'm retired. I'm like, oh, I fucked up. Obviously, we didn't beat segmentation into you enough.
That was hoping you were going to go. The one that was when you did the threaded challenge. You said that. I was like,
dude, challenge! That's a good one, right? Yep. That was the first time I saw Thin Viking. Yeah. Eric. First time I'd ever seen him, and I'm like, how stupid is this yoga shit? And then I have pictures, dude. There's the smoke barrels in the background. It's like, and all of a sudden, this big fucking voice comes out of that little dude, and I'm like, oh, all right, something to this yoga shit. The challenge. I'm like, what? Dad, it's not yoga. That's like full combat yoga. I've never seen anything like. I'm thinking he's gonna be boom boom boom. And he is fucking reaming you guys. And then I'm watching you guys all in these poses, tears pouring down your face. I'm like, oh, that yoga's nasty. All right.
Yeah.
So, all right, Threader challenge got you. Yeah. All right. It gets a lot of people, man. Guys, thank you so much for everything, man. I hope you guys have a good end of the year. And please be safe out there. And think about your brothers, man.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Listen, don't do the, hey, man, how are you?
Yeah.
And then walk away.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Don't ask if they're okay unless you're willing to listen.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Give them a knuckle bump and walk by. Don't open that door and then shut it in their face.
Mm-hmm.
Because you might have somebody who's willing to share their story with you.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you for taking the time, man. That was great.
Of course, boys.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And as always, don't be a shitbag.
Don't be a shitbag.